Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's professional learning session of Returning Boston Strong. We're going to start by showing you our objectives for this presentation. This is using Seesaw to support multilingual learners. We are so glad you're able to join us today. The main purpose of this professional development session is to share best practices for using Seesaw to support multilingual learners. Seesaw offers many tools that can help educators implement a variety of practices and support these learners. Now, take a moment with me. If you have a mug, a glass, or a water bottle nearby, raise it with me and cheers to a successful school year. Thank you for joining us this morning, and remember to stick around until the end to get the exit ticket link. Your feedback is important to us, and you also need your PDP hours. I'm Darlene, and I'm a first grade teacher at the Rafael Hernandez School.
And I'm Elizabeth, and I'm a K2 teacher at the Rafael Hernandez School.
And I am Marjorie, K1 teacher, also at the Rafael Hernandez School. And together we are Tres Maestras, Dos Idiomas, and your Seesaw ambassadors. We are so excited to have you all here today. BPS has moved forward purchasing the Seesaw for Schools license. This will give all of us the ability to use the platform virtually and in the classroom with the purpose of creating a learning atmosphere that cultivates respect for one another and toward diverse populations and learning styles while having high expectations for all students. Through Seesaw, teachers and administrators will be able to establish genuine partnerships with parents and caregivers by honoring their linguistic, cultural knowledge and expertise to support students' learning, especially during current times. We recognize the concerns about having to learn a new platform, but we assure you that Seesaw is very intuitive for all, students and families, and you are not alone in this journey. We are here to support you. Some of the perks you will get with the Seesaw for Schools are the ability to have up to 20 teachers connected per class, unlimited activities in our accounts, and new tools such as school-wide announcements, admin level support for teachers and students, portfolios will follow students from grade to grade, access to school and district analytics, and so much more. Elizabeth, let's start with some housekeeping.
Okay, so before we share today's agenda with you, we would like to go over a few housekeeping norms. First, if you can please take a moment to rename yourself and add your role or grade level you teach before your name. Darlene, for example, teaches first grade and renamed herself to grade 1 Darlene. You can find this by hovering over your video and clicking on the 3 dots on the top right corner and selecting rename. Next, we are kindly asking participants to please keep yourselves on mute. You can find the mute button on the bottom bar of the screen or by hovering over your video. Now, we know questions may come to mind throughout the presentation and we don't want you to forget them. So we encourage you to add them to the chat and we'll do our best to answer them as we go. However, if the chat becomes super popular and we can't keep up with all your fabulous questions, don't worry. We also have scheduled some time for Q&A at the end of our presentation. All right, Marjorie, can you tell us about the agenda?
Sure. This is going to be our agenda for today. What is Seesaw? Then we are going to talk about a handful of ways to support multilingual learners and activating their superpowers. We will have a conversation about families as partners. We'll share some resources and leave time for Q&As. As you can see, today is all about those instructional practices that will support your multilingual learners. And while you are at it, all of the others. You will be able to support your students by offering scaffolds opportunities to develop students' academic language and meaningful learning tasks. Seesaw enables teachers to build authentic relationships with students, families, and communities to create a learning partnership and bring them into the learning process. Darlene, let's start with the basics first.
So we'd like to start with a very simple question. What is Seesaw? Let's watch this short video for a quick overview.
Welcome to Seesaw. Seesaw is a portfolio that your student will use to showcase what they're learning and doing at school and share that with you, their family. They'll add photos, videos, drawings, voice recordings, notes, and much more to their learning journal. And you'll be able to see their amazing work right on your phone or computer whenever they post something new. Students love Seesaw because they're able to show what they know with lots of different tools and share their work with meaningful audiences, all while practicing those super important 21st century skills. Teachers love Seesaw because they're able to gain insights from all of their students, see student growth, and have all that classwork organized in one place. Parents love Seesaw because they can be closer to the classroom without being there every day and really understand how their student is doing. Teachers and parents are always in control of how student information is shared. Once you've connected to your child's account using the special invite code or link from your child's teacher, you can view all of their posted work. You'll only see your own child's work and messages that your teacher sends home. When something new is added, you'll get a notification. You can decide if you want notifications via email, push, or text message. Notifications can come each time something new is added or just once a day. You choose the settings you prefer. Once you follow the Seesaw notification, you can see what's going on in the classroom in real time. Teachers can also turn on options for you to like and comment on your child's work to encourage their learning.
So as you probably noticed, this video was geared toward families. Yes, that was on purpose. Seesaw is amazing because, as Marjorie said, it allows the teacher to establish genuine partnerships with families, encouraging involvement through their likes and comments to support their students' work. Best of all, each student can have up to 10 family members connected to their Seesaw journal to support their learning journey. I also want to add how remote teaching and learning can be very challenging for some. Based on our own experiences in our classrooms, we are well aware that remote learning wasn't as effective for some students. But we want you to keep calm because we are going to show you some tools that will make your remote teaching life so much easier, and in turn will allow your students to engage in active and meaningful learning tasks. So without further ado, Elizabeth, tell us how we're going to support our language learners.
Yeah, so what's nice about Seesaw is that you can still use your usual classroom methods of teaching language learners and use those same methods remotely with even more tools to benefit all students. I mean, just imagine learning physics in Swahili. You're more than capable of learning physics, but you're going to need some help understanding Swahili. When you hold your language learners to grade level content standards and provide just right supports, they make greater academic and language gains in less time. Here are 5 ways to support our language learners on Seesaw. We can use visuals and illustrations, allow for choice and expression of voice, create interactive sentence and paragraph stems, use multimodal directions, and of course, continue to use such things as word banks to support vocabulary. Again, these are all strategies that many of us commonly use in the classroom, and Seesaw just allows us to continue using those same strategies, but virtually. Teachers can post written and oral directions in the language of their choice and use a variety of tools to make the instructions comprehensible. Students, on the other hand, have a choice in how they choose to submit their assignments using tools that best fit their language abilities.
All right, so let's get started. The first way to support your multilingual learners is using visuals and resources to support their comprehension of content. With Seesaw, you can add videos, images, graphic organizers, or templates to activities to help students understand the content. This example right here is a math activity in which students sort addition and subtraction expressions. Now, let's take a look at a student response to hear a little of his thinking.
Have to do. Three is with one. 3 and 1.
Well, what is 3 minus 1? 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 means you take 1 away from 3.
2.
Okay.
In this screen video, we can hear the students thinking out loud on how he uses his strategies to find the right answer. We must remember to encourage and applaud our family's efforts and their important role regardless of the model of instruction.
So students show learning with multimedia tools like video, drawing, and voice recording. So language isn't a barrier to show what they can do. This means you get to see what your learner knows and where they need more support. Seesaw's creative tools are designed to empower students to think creatively and better demonstrate their learning. You and your student can add a photo, a video, drawing, a file, a note, or link to any Seesaw classroom using these tools. The great thing to know is that Seesaw just updated a few of their awesome features. The video tool, the drawing tool, and the link tools were all updated. These new features are perfect for telling a story with beginning, middle, and end, creating a robust instruction content to explain a complex concept, or showing multiple examples. Armed with this insight, you can support every single student to be their best. Superpowers activated.
Students, especially those learning a language, need as many opportunities as possible to practice speaking and listening. But it can be scary for students to try something new in front of the entire class. Seesaw gives multilingual learners a safe space to practice so that they have the confidence to give it a try, make mistakes, reflect on their progress by listening to themselves, and try again. That's how language grows. These are all the tools students can choose from, which allow them to demonstrate their learning in a variety of ways. And choice often equals increase in student engagement. Let's go to the next slide to see how a K1 student from Marjorie's class used the video tool to respond to an activity. Now, this example is of a student responding in their own authentic way to the activity Muestra y cuenta con la letra Y, or show and tell with the letter Y. Let's take a look.
Hola Marjorie, semana es la letra yo-yo y it starts with Y and I have un yo-yo. Y de yo-yo, yo. I hope you have a good day, Marjorie, and be safe, and I love you. Bye.
So cute, right? Students are able to demonstrate their learning in a variety of ways. And I think this example shows just one of the fun and unique ways a student may respond to an activity that can be used to promote the development of linguistic competence. Another thing I like about Seesaw is that it allows teachers to comment and provide feedback on the activities students submit with a written text or voice comment. Let's listen to Marjorie's voice comment for this student's response.
Hola, mi Macy querida. I love you too. Gracias por tu mensaje. Qué bonito estás hablando español, inglés. I'm being safe, taking morning walks, and wearing my mask when I go out. I hope you're safe too. Enjoy your vacation.
If you already use Seesaw, then you know that you can also enable the option for students to see and comment on each other's work, which is another great way to promote discourse practices in a virtual setting.
Looking at that video makes me miss even more my students. So let's keep moving. We all know the importance of providing structures that promote academic conversations. Sentence and paragraph stems give students the opportunity to respond in the form of a complete sentence to effectively communicate. Sentence stems provide scaffoldings to help students get started in speaking or writing without the added pressure of thinking about how to correctly formulate a response. We know which students need it and which ones don't. With Seesaw, you get to differentiate your activities and assign them to different students. Each student gets their own template to work on. With this lesson in particular, a student could get to respond showcasing his or her learning in the domains of writing or speaking by typing or recording a voice memo, video with the answers. Let's take a look. In this video, we will hear the student give his answer to the optional task from the activity. The optional task was for students to record themselves reading the sentences. Let's listen.
Hi, my name is Isaac, and I will be reading all of the sentences. The apple is the shortest. The ice cream is the longest. The apple is shorter than the cupcake. The cupcake is shorter than the ice cream. The ice cream is longer than the cupcake. The cupcake is longer than the apple.
On this video, Ignacio chose to respond to the optional task and recorded himself with the embedded voice recording feature. By providing this optional task, Darlene provided choice to the students and the opportunity to develop their linguistic competence. As a side note, at the bottom of the screen, you can see a QR code. Seesaw allows teachers to download students' responses to activities for quick references, sharing, or for conferencing with families and students.
So we know everyone has their own interests, readiness, and learning styles, and multimodal learning is the way ahead. Seesaw allows you to provide instructions for your students in different ways to help them know what to do. You can use icons only, written instruction with icons, voice instructions, video instructions, and screen recordings, which is actually a new feature. You can record a video right on Seesaw. Instruction in multiple formats allows students to activate different cognitive skills to understand and remember the steps they are to take in their work. As I mentioned, instruction can be given using text, visuals, gestures, or audio to facilitate retention in short and long-term memory, similar to how we do in the classroom, where we employ a variety of techniques to complement verbal instructions. So now I'm going to show you this activity live on Seesaw. You would simply click Save Activity here, and it would take you right to your library, and it looks like this. Let's take a moment to look at this example. This activity Elizabeth created about retelling the Tres Cerditos story provides multimodal instruction by using visuals. So we see the icon shortcuts, which are actually text shortcuts that turn into emojis when you save your activity. There's also written instructions and voice instructions. I'll play a short clip.
Hola, Kinder 2. Me puse a pensar que antes de compartir la otra versión de este cuento con...
Also, there are visual aids in the activity that they get to edit. There are text boxes and gestures in videos Elizabeth personalized for her class. She also added voice for every keyword that she used. By referring to all these methods, you are conveying the same message in multiple formats. By the way, the PDF of the Seesaw icon shortcut is linked in the resource slide at the end.
So word banks, we all know about word banks. Word banks provide students with access to key vocabulary and helps with instructional level vocabulary development, spelling, writing, and also helps students recall words that they have previously learned. A word bank can be embedded within the academic material or core content. In this writer's workshop activity, students are able to refer to the provided word bank to help with the vocabulary needed to write a sentence about what they see in the image. In this activity, students can choose to type or maybe even use one of the drawing tools and write with their finger or a stylus if they have a touch screen. Similar to the math activity we viewed earlier, teachers may also want to adapt the activity and make the word bank an interactive one to allow students to drag the words on the screen to help form sentences.
So Seesaw creates a powerful learning loop that brings together students, teachers, and families to deepen student learning. Of all the factors that determine student outcomes, family engagement is at the top of the list. Partnerships between school and families can improve a student's grades, attendance, persistence, and motivation. Research shows that it is true regardless of the family's race or income. This year, more than ever, we need to reach out to families in a positive and non-traditional way. Let's watch this video to get inspired.
Is it gonna be a good day? Like, I am respectful.
I am respectful.
Yeah.
That just proved to us that we must get connected with our students' first teachers. Connecting families on Seesaw makes them a powerful part of the learning process, allowing them to reinforce and support learning at home. Teachers and families can be in constant, positive, two-way communication. Through the Seesaw Family app, family members can look through the student's portfolio, have it automatically translated, and can leave comments, questions, even notes of encouragement. It also allows us to utilize the cultural knowledge of students, families, and communities to adapt practices, materials, and environments to engage, motivate, and facilitate deep learning. All of the tools mentioned are ways Seesaw can be used to facilitate deep learning and lead students to become independent learners. Seesaw also supports teachers and families to overcome barriers and leverage families' unique assets to form a partnership around students' learning.
Language barrier. Not with Seesaw. Seesaw messages can be translated in one click, so you have the tools to open two-way communication with families, and families have the tools to participate fully in their child's learning. The C translation option is available in over 55 languages, and it allows for clear and positive communication that encourages family involvement.
Now, we want you to see how easy it is to find activities created by other Seesaw ambassadors. Why reinvent the wheel? You can modify the already created activities to fit the needs of your students and what you would like the students to practice. Let's take a look. So there is a section in the library dedicated to English learners, and you can filter activities by grade and subject. So many options. It is amazing. You can even schedule when you want activities to be assigned. We created this presentation to show you how you can keep supporting your multilingual learners, even in a remote setting, and with the hopes to give you some peace of mind about the journey ahead of all of us during this school year. This job can be done effectively, as all of our students deserve. Remember that relationships are the most important thing to start cultivating with your students and their families from the beginning. Be open, be flexible, practice self-care.
So at this time, we're going to give you the link to help.seesaw.me for all your questions. Feel free to email us if you have any questions also, because as Marjorie said, we are in this together. We want to thank you so much for joining us today. Please follow us on social media at Tres Maestras, Dos Idiomas for great resources for yourself and for your families. Stay tuned for more webinars from us. Most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have already uploaded some videos like instructing families how to register for Seesaw in Spanish with English subtitles. We don't see that too often. Please share it with your Spanish-speaking families and your colleagues. If there is anyone that speaks another language, please collaborate and add subtitles in the language you speak. Thank you again, and we hope you have a very successful school year. So if you are seeing this slide, that means you stuck around until the end. Please complete the exit ticket. The link is right on the screen. This way you can receive your PDPs or professional development hours. Thank you again, and we look forward to your feedback.